Wow. After watching this, and all night we said, if there's a setting for an American fighter to just spring the greatest upset of, or we've seen in a long time, tonight's
Justin Gaethje just defeated Ilia Topuria by round 4 TKO to corner stoppage at UFC Freedom 250 on the White House lawn and is now the undisputed lightweight world champion at 37 years old. I can't believe I'm saying these things. I thought Strickland's upset against Chimaev was going to be enough this year for the MMA gods to start making logic true once again in this sport, but no. Justin Gaethje puts a whooping on Ilia Topuria. Fair enough, survives a nightmarish round 2, but I had Justin Gaethje winning this fight 3 rounds to 1. It wasn't even like Ilia Topuria was clearly ahead the whole fight and Justin Gaethje just broke him in round 4 and then Ilia Topuria quits on the stall. I had Gaethje up 3 rounds to 1. I thought he won the first round very clear. It was competitive. Ilia was landing big shots. What am I saying? What am I saying? The whole card was insane. But to finish like this, I can't wait to break down the rest of the card. But this fight, Ilia comes out. He's wandering into jabs like he's never boxed.
Felt things went down this evening at the White House, and then Monday, in just a few hours' time, we'll do the regular show and give you the regular breakdown. Justin Gaethje is the undisputed champion of the UFC. This is a shocking result, and I have to apologize because I don't usually make picks, and I was quite confident in my pick. I thought Ilia Topuria was going to win. Justin Gaethje won that fight fair and square. It appears as though Ilia's corner called off the fight going into the 5th round, and it looked like going into the 4th round the doctor was going to call it off. In fact, it seems as though he did actually call it off at one point. He shook his head. He said Ilia couldn't see, and then Mark Goddard almost like convinced him to keep it going. It was a weird thing. They gave him more time. Seemed a little bit odd, but in the end the right man won. Justin Gaethje looked a lot bigger at 155 than Ilia. Justin Gaethje can take a punch. In the first round, when Ilia was hitting him like a Mack truck, Gaethje was taking the shots. No one takes those shots from Ilia, and Ilia was wearing some damage, and all of a sudden, he's bleeding, and all of a sudden he's getting rocked, and all of a sudden he's cut, and all of a sudden he's swelling, and all of a sudden he can't see, and we've never seen him compromise like that before. We've never seen him in trouble, struggling like that before.
Can you? No. It's almost like he's trying to not to. And that'll do it.
Yeah, Justin Gaethje. Holy shit,
I don't want to wake up Harley, but holy shit. Oh, don't hurt yourself. You riding Gaethje because he's your homie. Shut the fuck up. I'm riding him because he got heavy hands and he got a strong ass jaw.
Sean O'Malley celebrates with fans after a UFC White House win.
Quando eu falei, todo mundo falou que eu tava louco. Eu falei, ninguém quis acreditar, falaram que eu tava doido. Tá aí, ó.
I can't look. Oh! No way! Ilia's done! He's leaking bad. Let's go! Justin won! Not expect. Bro, that backflip! Oh! Bro!
No, he wanted to quit.
It's almost like he's trying to not to. And that'll do it.
We won! We won!
20,000, bitch! No, it's 200,000, bitch! 200,000!
200,000 apiece, bitch!
200,000, bitch!
200,000 apiece!
200,000 a pop!
bitch. 200,000 a pop, bitch.
The battle has been fought, the victor is known, and now all that was said prior to the locking of the doors will come into focus once more. The bout between Ilia Topuria and Justin Gaethje did not lack in predictions, theories, and analyses, but few of them were correct. Time now to take another look at the pre-fight assessment and figure out who got the match right and who got it totally wrong. For Topuria himself, there was no doubt that his fight with Gaethje was going to result in absolute mayhem within the octagon. According to him, if two fighters who based their styles on high aggression came face to face, the outcome would inevitably be explosive. He was sure that the fight would turn out to be extremely brutal and dangerous, with neither fighter being able to make any mistakes, and he was positive that he would be more ready for the fight than his opponent.
Me and Justin, we bring very entertaining style. It's gonna be a banger. It's gonna be a great fight. Because when you put like two type of guys that represent the style that we have, you get fire. And one of us is gonna get burned in that fire, and it's not gonna be me.
Whereas Michael Bisping saw the fight as an extremely dangerous match between timing, power, and pressure, and one good strike had the potential to completely alter the contest. On one hand, he pointed out the threat of Topuria's knockouts, stating that no matter who the opponent may be, a well-timed attack can bring any fighter down to their knees. On the other hand, Michael was adamant about the fact that David Gaethje was not going to take the contest lightly because focus and concentration are key factors when fighting at this level of competition.
To go up against Ilia Topuria, that is precise, that does have that kind of crazy knockout power, because regardless with Max Holloway, how close it was until the knockout came. The knockout came, and I think DC said no one's even knocked Max Holloway down prior to that, and he sparked it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's very concerning for Justin Gaethje. People said, oh, he took Paddy lightly. You can't say that as an excuse.
No chance.
He's fighting for an interim title.
Correct.
Interim title at the T-Mobile.
And if he loses that, he's done.
Who's going to take that lightly?
No chance.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
And he had no problem with his gas tag. I don't think he took anyone lightly. I think Paddy's style, he made it a real row. It was a 5-round decision, but he clipped him a lot. He did some damage with the knees, the uppercuts, the overhand rights. I think if he doesn't utilize that, he's a fool. And I don't mean try and take Ilia down, because that's going to be really hard. But what he should do is start the fight, throw a real combination, right, which again is risky, but throw it ever so slightly out of range, where he's not going to get caught and he's not going to get clipped, right, by a counter shot, but use that to mask a shot. And I don't mean the double leg at the legs, just to the chest, just to engage in a clinch, just to push.
Bisping gave an incredibly realistic account of the battle that Topuria was facing against Gaethje by mentioning the latter's age, past wars, and years of wearing and tearing after having spent a long time as one of the biggest names in the sport. Although Bisping admitted the great victories and resilience of Gaethje, he implied that should something not go well for him, then retirement is only inevitable. Even the psychological aspect of fighting on such a large scale and in front of people who mean the world to you did not seem relevant anymore once the fight started. It all boiled down to elite matchmaking.
Contenders.
Almost 38 years old. Who sparked out by Max Holloway. He's lost a few recently. Yeah, he beat Paddy and he beat Rafael Fiziev. Yeah, it was kind of a close fight, because he's great, don't get me wrong. And if he loses here, he's going to retire. Yes, he's at the White House. Yes, he's American. Yeah, he's proud to be there. Yeah, his father's going to be there.
Yeah.
I've had that situation. I'm like, no one's going to beat me in front of my kids. You know, then I got left hooked off George St. Pierre and woke up 5 minutes later when I got choked out and what went on. Doesn't matter. None of that shit comes into it. It's two human beings. Elite's fought is younger. He's undefeated. He's got cleaner boxing. He's got better power. It's going to be very, very unlikely that Justin Gaethje wins that fight. Just impossible.
Does the event need Gaethje to win, though? Does an American need to finish at the end with the Star-Spangled Banner and the belt?
Because I know what's going to happen at the end of the show, and I'm not saying it. And it'd be great for an American.
In addition, Brendan Schaub had outlined his analysis of the bout by first noting the dangers that Gaethje had represented from day one because of his high-octane style of wrestling characterized by violence, pressure, and exciting finishes, even though it had caused him to suffer physical damage over time. However, he would then go on to note how the usual approach taken by Gaethje that allowed him to outlast his opponents in a fight that involved violence and chaos was about to be met by a more difficult opponent in Topuria. Topuria, one whose youth and skill could cancel out the strengths of Gaethje's fighting style.
The main event, Ilia Topuria, Justin Gaethje. What Justin Gaethje is doing is amazing. The odds are so stacked against him. He's a lot older, has all the punishment. He's the human highlight reel. And Justin throws caution to the wind. Justin does get hit, though. That's an issue. You know, Paddy Pimblett had a lot of success on the feet. Sloppy had success. Max Holloway, a lot of success. Dustin Poirier, a lot of success. You know, Charles Oliveira, a lot of success. Michael Chandler, a lot of success. So there's a theme here. And the reason he's called the human highlight isn't because he doesn't get hit. It's because his fight's so goddamn good and he wins in convincing fashion and crazy knockouts. The issue with that is he's fighting Ilia Topuria, who by all metrics is younger, faster, and better at every single aspect of mixed martial arts.
Following this, Schaub had elaborated further on the high-stakes nature of the fight, commenting that while he considered Topuria to be an obvious choice, the very possibility of Gaethje springing an upset was huge because of the ramifications that would come about as a result of that. In other words, Schaub described a scenario where the fight could potentially become something legendary, even though his gut feeling told him that all signs seemed to point towards victory for Topuria.
A guy in his absolute fucking prime as the main event, Ilia Topuria, does everything better than Justin Gaethje. It's a nightmare of a fight for him. But boy, would I love to see him win. So my pick is Ilia Topuria. But I'm rooting for Justin Gaethje. If Justin were able to win, it would just make this insane event even bigger. It would be, I can't even fathom with him beating Ilia Topuria and grabbing that flag, and you got Trump in the ring or in the octagon, and you got the jets flying over top, you got fireworks at Dana there. What a way to go off. Will never happen again. Will be the biggest upset in UFC history. An American wins at the White House. Buddy, you couldn't write a movie about this. It's going to be fucking epic. That's what he's dealing with.
And same with Tim Welch. There was no better sight for him other than seeing Gaethje emerge victorious. He envisioned himself standing among his family members, retiring from the sport in style. However, the fight was not going to be an easy one, as he acknowledged the defensive aspects of Gaethje's style, such as the tendency of having low hands and his dipping stance. However, there were still ways in which he could win, as he had strong wrestling and kicking skills and even knockouts. In conclusion, though, he picked Topuria for this fight based on his superior timing and calmness.
A lot of people did not think he'd beat Paddy Pimblett, and he did. It's going to be his last fight of his career on the White House lawn. Boy, do I want more than anything Justin Gaethje to win. I want him to win. Stand in front of his family, American, and cheer and just be like, yeah! Last fight ever. A man can dream. A man can dream. This is a tough fight. If you go watch my breakdown where it's Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett, you can see why I think it's such a tough fight, because Paddy Pimblett's hands, Justin Gaethje's hands come back to his armpits. He ducks a lot. In his normal stance, his chin's kind of above his shoulders. There's ways for him to win. There is ways for Justin Gaethje to win. Justin Gaethje's wrestling is very underrated. He throws nasty head kicks. He throws powers. There's ways for Justin to win. I just don't think it's going to be this one. I hope it is. I don't think it is. I think Ilia Topuria is too sharp, too confident, standing across from these goats. Remember, and Max Holloway isn't near as big as Justin Gaethje. Volk isn't near as big as Justin Gaethje. They're completely different.
On the other hand, Rafael Fiziev kept his breakdown grounded in realism, acknowledging Topuria's ability to end a fight in an instant with his sharp, fight-changing power, while also reminding that MMA is never predictable no matter how the matchup looks on paper. Speaking from first-hand experience after sharing the cage with Gaethje twice, he emphasized how difficult it is to deal with his relentless pressure, high pace, and willingness to stay in dangerous exchanges. In his view, it wasn't just a question of skill sets matching up, but of surviving the chaos that unfolds when Gaethje pushes the fight into deep waters where anything can happen at any moment. However, Demetrius Johnson highlighted how Gaethje's striking style can become a major risk in high-level exchanges, noting his tendency to lead with wide, committed attacks like overhands, uppercuts, and heavy kicks that pull him into direct firefights. In those moments, he warned, engaging in pure stand-up trading becomes dangerous against a precise counter-striker who is willing to absorb one shot just to return a cleaner, more damaging counter. From there, he contrasted that risk with Topuria's composed boxing, emphasizing its rhythm, structure, and timing. He also pointed to Topuria's confidence and visualization in preparation as added factors that strengthen his threat entering the fight. Johnson had expanded on his breakdown by saying Topuria seems to operate with complete clarity inside the cage, almost already knowing exactly how each exchange needs to play out, which is why traditional keys to victory feel unnecessary for him. He emphasized that while Justin Gaethje remains dangerous in chaotic moments, those same situations are where Topuria is most comfortable and effective, shifting the danger back onto Gaethje. Johnson contrasted this with other stylistic matchups that require strict defensive adjustments, noting that here both men fight in similar ranges but with different levels of precision. Ultimately, he had leaned toward Topuria due to his confidence, control, and consistent ability to impose his game plan. Additionally, Wade Plemons had said Topuria looked like the more complete fighter, with sharper boxing, more weapons, and strong confidence, but he still pointed out that he can be hit in exchanges. He noted that moving up in weight changes everything, especially against someone like Gaethje who carries real one-shot knockout power. Ultimately, he leaned toward a violent finish, expecting Gaethje to get stopped early. So after hearing all the predictions and breakdowns, the question is simple: who actually read this fight right? Drop your thoughts in the comments and tell us who you think came closest to calling it. And if you enjoyed the breakdown, make sure to subscribe for more fight analysis and deep dives just like this.